again, this is Izzy from Clarity Face Painting, and today I'm going to attempt to do a Pennywise face paint. Let's get straight into it. So first thing I'm going to do is I need to take my makeup off that I already have on. There we go. Let's get started. So I'm taking this pretty seriously today, so I'm gluing down my eyebrows. Just see what happens. So I'm getting the glue like into my eyebrows. And I've got this eyebrow thing which I'm going to brush my eyebrows down with. Gluing down your eyebrows is a lot harder than it looks. So I've got pretty rubbish glue, so that is dry already. So now I'm going to get one of my nice sponges and I'm going to cover my face in white. So the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to get my white paint and put some water on it and then like pack my sponge with paint and then just get right in there, covering the whole face. I'm dabbing the paint on here, so just really trying to push the paint in so it stays there. You can also do this with a brush if you want, if you have a bigger brush, but I find this covers surface area quicker. So with a sponge you'll have to go over it a few times because you're not going to get the, like you can see this isn't fully white. Well, you can't really see on that side. It's not fully white yet. So I'll have to probably do another layer. Whereas with a brush, it covers less surface area, but it'll be easier to get the brightest white a bit quicker. So you can do that however you want. When you're going over with the second layer, that's when you definitely want to be dabbing the paint on with the sponge instead of swiping it, because you'll just wipe off what you've already done. So make sure you're just packing more colour on top instead of wiping off what you've already got. I'm just going to focus on the face for today, but if you were doing this for a party or for Halloween, you would want to go down your neck. And if you've got, I think his costume, it's a high neck anyway. So go down slightly further to where the costume will come up, because otherwise it looks like wearing a mask, which is not the look that you're going for if you're dressing up as Pennywise. I mean, it's a look. It does good for the teeth. Oh yeah. Wow. So I'm struggling a bit to cover up my eyebrows, so I'm going to have a go doing those with a brush, just to maybe get a more concentrated colour on them. It hasn't really covered them up, but it's something. It's a better base, I suppose. And then I'll go back in with my sponge just to blend that out. Okay, it's not going to get much whiter than that, so I'm going to stop there. I just look so weird. So I'm going to do the darks of the eyes now. Make sure you leave a bit more time for the white to dry so that it doesn't go grey. You want it to be black. So again, I'm going in my black, I'm going to spray that, get a sponge that doesn't look clean but is clean, get in there, really make sure it's not too wet because otherwise it will just drip and you don't want that. Be really careful that you get this nicely blended, especially with a big sponge. It's quite hard to just get it where you want it, so I sort of squish it down and just like use this edgy bit. Make sure you stretch out your face as well, because otherwise like you'll see here like a line where my eye crease is. So make sure you're covering those, like keeping an eye out for that. We just gotta hope it comes together in the end right now, because we're certainly not going for the panda that I have become. I found the line here is a bit harsh, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get my white sponge again and go back in, just to make the outside a bit more seamless. Really sort of light dabs, not packing in the paint like we were when we started, just blending the outside. Sort of just going back and forth. When you think you need a bit more black, go back into the black. When you need more white, go in with the white. You're gonna look silly, okay? It looks silly, but we'll make it good. I think we will stick with that. This is one of those parts that you can come back to if you decide that you want to change it when you add more detail and you've been looking at it for longer. You can obviously just wash your hands in a sink, or you can use makeup wipes. Just cleaning your fingers, because otherwise you're going to mix your paints up and get the wrong colours. So I'm just getting a brush about this big, just covering it in black, and I'm going to draw on some angry eyebrows, sort of using where you can see my actual eyebrow starts and going up at the start and then coming up like that, and then going back in and getting some more detail in that. Looking pretty angry. Now we've got to try and make it relatively symmetrical. Sure. Again, because this is water-based, when you go in with a wet brush, the black is going to mix a little bit with the white, but if you just keep going over with the black, you should be fine. Going to bring the ends of them down a little bit more to get a kind of crazier look. I'm taking where my real eyebrows end and just extending it out a little bit more. Cool, I'm happy with that. So I'm just thinking, now that I've got black on my brush, I am going to just sort of go in just under my eyes to make sure those bits are fully black. Just sort of dabbing around the outside, and then if while you're doing that you notice any clear sort of straight lines, because you want this to be like blended, you don't want to have black eyeliner and then the greyish shadow. So if you just notice that there's any straight lines, just get your sponge back and blend those out. Might be best as well when doing that, so I'm going to take a clean dry brush just for that, because you can, when you're using the edge, you can get like paint concentrated on the edge of the sponge and then get a line, which you don't want. So just sort of blending out the already wet paint to smoothen that edge out. Also, remembering with the eyebrows, you don't want them to come too far upwards, because then you'll look like that kind of face, which we don't want. We want an angry face. Right, I'm happy with that so far. So now we're going to go in with red. On the lips, you can use red lipstick. In fact, I would suggest you use red lipstick. If you're eating or drinking, red lipstick is going to stay on a lot more than this water-based red paint is. But I probably wouldn't use red lipstick on the rest of your face, because it might still be there tomorrow. So I'm going to clean off the brush I used for the eyebrows. Really clean that off, especially when you've been using a dark colour like black. Really clean that off, and then going into my red paint. So because the eyebrows that we've done, Pennywise doesn't actually have eyebrows, I'm going to do the red line over the top of those. So I'm going to start it just about where the bit further into the dark circles start, and then I'm just going to do a straight line up. There you go, pretty good. Again, that's going to mix with the black and the white underneath. Just give it a second and then go back over it again. And when you've seen it mix with other colours, clean off the brush again, because then now it's going to have white and black on it. But you don't have to clean it as vigorously. Also making sure you've not got too much paint on it, because otherwise the line will be a lot thicker than the brush is. Pretty good. I'm going to leave that one for now and just go on to the next one. Pretty good. Okay, so I'm happy with those. So Pennywise has quite big cheeks, so he's like that a lot. So I'm going to sort of follow that imaginary line there, go sort of around. So you can see my cheeks are here. So I'm going to come sort of around like that. Just going to do a little sketch there. And then up to under the eye. Nice, I'm really happy with that. That was quite helpful, sort of looking at yourself in the mirror, bringing your cheeks up to that smile and sort of seeing where the top of them is and then relaxing your face and drawing from there. Wow. And then you can either use that technique again, so smiling again and doing that line there, but you might not get it as symmetrical, so I'm just going to try and copy the line that I did before. So that's what I've done here, is I've done quite a faint line. So if I don't like that, I can probably just cover that up easier than if I had gone in harder. And I'm saying that's relatively symmetrical, so we're going to go in. Okay, I'm probably going to go over all of these red lines again, just because you can see the black is sort of working into them. But I'll move on for now, onto the nose. So I'm just going to do just the tip of my nose. I'm going to paint red, simple as. Where the point of my nose is, I'm going to have that as the centre point and then sort of work down my nose, wrapping right underneath where my nose sort of connects with the rest of my face, and just colouring that in red. Getting right to the base of the nose here as well. Okay, I mean that's really just brought the whole thing together. So I'm not going to use lipstick for this one, so I'm going to start with the just red paint, because I'm going to go a bit further down with the mouth, sort of trying to make it look more triangular but not pointier. I've got quite pointy lips at the top. I'm probably gonna just make that straighter. You want a smooth transition from these lines into the lips, so just sort of, once you've got the lips on, just go over and smoothen that curve. I look pretty terrifying. Cool, I'm gonna go, while I've still got the red, I'm gonna go over these lines again just to get a richer colour, because you can see my lips are a lot brighter red than these parts. I'm now bringing this just down onto my eyelid because it looks better. You'll have to sort of keep your eyes like that while it dries, otherwise it will just smudge up. I'm very happy with this. And with that, we are finished. Wow. Add a costume, add a wig. So there you go, that is my Pennywise tutorial. Let me know what you thought of that in the comments. This is only my second video, so if you have any tips on how you want your any more tutorials that I do to be delivered, let me know. All done. Thank you very much for watching, guys. I will see you in the next video. Bye.